Well, hello again. I'm Bill Russell, president of Lake Norman Chamber of Commerce, and we have another edition of Around the Lake. And today we have Jim Combs of Raymond James Financial, Williamson Wealth, and Dean Williamson, been a close friend of mine. He was a board member way back around 1999, served for 6 years, and now you're a board member. But for those who may not know, Jim, share what is Raymond James?
So Raymond James obviously is an investment company. We have a big bank. You probably heard Raymond James, during the Super Bowls and when Tampa Bay is playing because they have a big stadium down there. But we're an investment-driven company. We manage just over $2 trillion as a big whole, right? And then locally, we just over $1 billion over at Williamson Wealth. We invest and really help the community here and our clients who are actually all over the United States.
And share with me, where are your clients? Are they principally here, or are they all over the United States, like you just talked about?
So principally here, but I do have a large network of clients, people as far as California, up in New York, over in Florida, Texas. So I'm able to work with the clients and wherever they may be. I have kind of a big network of people throughout the country. So,
and is there a particular age range of people that should be looking at investing their money?
Well, anybody should be looking at investment and investing early. The number one thing that you can use when your investment is time. Over time, your money will grow. It will become better and more valuable the more time that you have. Typically, we see people that come in between 55 and 65, 70, and they want to, oh, now I need to start investing or start looking at retirement. So that's typically who we're going to see. But I would encourage 18-year-olds, 20-year-olds, the second you have a job, just do a little bit, and that little bit really adds up to a lot over time.
And why should somebody? And I'll tell you, I was probably 25 when somebody started talking to me, because I had my money. I had an IRA down at the bank, and somebody said, no, you really be looking at a financial advisor. And I did, but share why somebody, if they're in their 20s, should be looking at investing their money and getting a financial advisor.
Well, the great part about having a financial advisor, most of the time you're paying for it whether you like it or not. So if you're on the retail side and some of the mutual funds, you're going to find higher expense ratios. Well, if you have an advisor, you pay a lower expense ratio. So having an advisor, you're paying about the same. But it's always good to have good guidance. We don't, like myself, I don't pretend to be the expert on everything all the time. People will come in with the problems. We're going to, take their problems, whatever their investment thing is. We're going to find the thing that works for them and customize everything to their portfolio. But I also have a huge team behind me. So when they come in and they have some of those bigger questions, or, hey, I have a really unique situation, and most unique situations are not very unique, but, we can take those to our team over at Williamson Wealth. Obviously Dean and the team there is great people to be around. And, you're getting the advice and of some people that have done it for years and years and years.
Jim, you've been so involved in so many different types of businesses. What led you to being a financial advisor with Raymond James?
Well, my career in the past, I ran a professional hockey league, and there was the fun parts about it and the bad parts about it. And the bad parts about it was, arguing with coaches and talking to, a referee about this, that, or the other, and this play and that play, and an angry fan. The fun part was taking care of, the owners, taking care of the money, making sure that the players are getting their money, making sure. And I really fell in love with hey, all I gotta do is take care of the money and really help people. And a lot of my owners said, hey, why don't you go be a financial advisor? Because you love that part of it. You love taking care of people, but you don't like arguing with coaches. And I go, no, I don't like that part. So when my father was sick and I took over his expenses and I took over all of his stuff with his estate, I thought this was perfectly where I wanted to be. So walked away from the sports and all of the what seems like would be fun, which, running a hockey league would be great, but it's not as fun as it may seem. But I get to do all the fun parts I like to do. get to know people, take care of their portfolios, do the right thing for them, and make sure they're set up for success. So that's why I, picked Raymond James, and Dean Williamson really was a large part of that, because, he's been here for 32 years.
Right.
What a great partner to have. If there's ever an issue, I can, write to Dean. Dean, this is what's happening. And he's been a great partner and certainly somebody good for me.
Jim, I know you're very involved in the community. Cool Kids is one of the things that you've been involved in. You really plugged yourself in since you've been here in Lake Norman. Why do you think it's so important for someone in business to give back to the community?
Yeah, any business that you're in, you should be there to give back. Now, I'm fortunate enough to where I'm able to maybe go on some trips or do some things that are a little bit nicer. And you know what? I need to spend that time, that extra time that I have, giving back to the community, being part of what's going on. Because like for Cool Kids, with the kids who have cancer and how it affects their family is very devastating. My brother-in-law passed away this last Christmas, on Christmas Day, passed away from cancer. And so that journey with him had been 5-6 years in the making, and how that happened. And I thought, wait a minute, there's somebody in this community, even though my brother-in-law lived in New Hampshire, but there are people that are hurting in this community that I can relate to. And so if I can go help those kids, put a smile on their face. We did a piloting project. I'm a private pilot. So we did a little pilot project, made me happy, made them happy. And I just think it's a good thing to find something that touches your heart and go out there and do it, whatever that may be.
And I think you moved here from California. I know you moved from out west. Why did you select Lake Norman? What brought you here?
Well, actually, I didn't move from California, but I've been in Charlotte for 27 years. My parents.
Oh, Charlotte. Okay.
Yeah, so I've been in the Charlotte area for 27 years, but my parents moved around a lot when I was a kid. And I decided I finally wanted to just be from somewhere, so I moved to Charlotte. We did live here for 11 years. Then my wife and I moved to Sedona, Arizona for 2 years. And then when we moved back, I said, I don't want to go back to Valentine. I'd been there since its infancy and seen it grow up. And we wanted to have more of the lake, be out on the water, more of a friendlier atmosphere, and less business and less busy with I thought it was going to be less busy with traffic, but it still has a little bit of that. But it's just a great community up here by the lake.
Well, I knew you were further out west than Gastonia, so I remember.
Yeah.
I remembered we talked about your mom being in Texas and Arizona. So okay, I know you live in Mooresville. What is it that you like best about living and working in Lake Norman?
The variety of life. I mean, you can be out on the lake. You can go through some of the nice parks around here. For me, I live not on the lake side of Mooresville. We have a nice little community, Creek's Edge. We have 19 homes. It's nice and easy, big lots, and kind of quiet. But I'm 4 miles from downtown Davidson, and I can be in the mix. I can be in that I-77 traffic in only 6 minutes.
Well, Jim, we asked you to consider serving on the board, and you jumped right in, and you're our chair of membership development and working to get more businesses involved in the chamber. So we want to thank you for your involvement. And thank you for sharing a little bit about Raymond James today.
I appreciate it. It's a fun place to be. Brokered CDs right now are at 5.35, and we have some really good products if you want to come check us out.
And you can help people grow their money.
We're trying.
We also want to thank Joe Vagnone. Joe Vagnone is a local business broker, and he is the presenting sponsor of our Around the Lake series. Again, thank everybody for watching, and thank you, Jim, for being with us today.
Have a great day. Thanks.